Ray Woodson, Tom Tolbert, Steve Kerr, new head coach of the Golden State Warriors, joining us for the next 40 minutes. Let me ask you about your philosophies, because I remember talking to you, and I think you mentioned Jeff Van Gundy told you to write stuff down, what your philosophies would be, your tenets would be, that kind of stuff. What are they? I mean, when you look at them now, and you have a vision in your head of how you want a team to look, how do you want a team to look, and maybe what were some of the things that you wrote down on the paper that these are going to be some of my philosophies when I take over?
Well, a lot of that looks like what the Warriors already have, which was one of the attractions to the job. I like two-way players. I like guys who play both ends of the floor, and teams that have that balance. That's what wins in the playoffs. I mean, every year, whoever wins the title is in the top 10 in both offense and defensive efficiency. Mm-hmm. Warriors were third in efficiency this year, I think 11th or 12th on offense. I think there's room for growth offensively. My philosophy has always been in basketball about ball movement. Force the defense to make as many rotations as you can, because the more rotations they make, the bigger chance for a mistake. And I think the way the game is played these days with the rules, you got to run, you got to play fast.
Finally, someone's going back around to it. I've been on that for 17 years.
Yeah.
Run.
Well, and you guys ran, you just didn't guard anybody.
We tried.
I know.
Sometimes.
But trying doesn't really get you the trophy stuff.
I was playing center. What do you want from us for crying out loud? You can only do so much when the guy's 6'8's guarding Patrick Ewing.
And you brought up the ball. I mean, they asked you to do an awful lot. With the Bobcat hairdo that you had going.
That was tough, too. The hair swinging back and forth.
How do you deal with that?
Much better look now.
Yes, thank you.
It's coming back.
But I agree. I mean, because I've always said, look, just because you push it doesn't mean you have to shoot it.
Right.
You can always push it, explore what the defense gives you, and then if you don't have everything, get into your secondary offense, and from there you transition into your sets. So I don't see why you can't push it. Now, you got to have good decision makers, obviously. Well, let me ask you about this, because running always sounds fun. Mm-hmm. It's hard to run. Mm-hmm. I mean, guys have to have a commitment to running. Mm-hmm. It's got to be every time, and you have to understand that I'm not just running to get myself open, I'm running to get other guys open as well. If I run hard, you suck the defense in, and guys have opportunities. How do you convince guys, I want to run, and I want you guys to have fun getting out there running, but it's not easy. It's hard work to run every time.
It's hard work, but it also generates offense. And if you do it from the beginning of camp and you make it a prerequisite, I think guys will buy in because, well, first of all, people would rather run than walk.
Yes.
But I think the tendency is to kind of do the in-between. You run when you kind of want to, but you slow it down. But if you watch the Spurs, I mean, they push the ball up on every possession, and they put so much pressure on the defense. They play a lot of people, which is important. If you're going to run, you're going to expend a lot of energy, and so you've got to be able to play a lot of people and use your depth. But it's, to me, the biggest point in each possession is you push the ball, you get out and run, there's nothing there, then what? Like there's that moment of truth where do you just stop and you pull it out and isolate your best player and have them either put on a dribbling exhibition or just dump it in the post, or is there a series of actions that flows that forces the defense to react? And that's what I believe in. I believe in that moment where everything stops. You better keep going and flowing. And the Warriors have a ton of skill. I mean, Bogut and Lee can pass. Draymond Green can pass. There's a lot of shooting, as we know. So to me, there's a lot of potential for growth offensively and defensively. Boy, with what they've built the last couple of years, Mark's done a great job emphasizing rebounding and being tough and being defensive-minded. He's established that, and that was one of the attractions to the job. It's just, this is not about trying to build something. It's trying to add to what has already been built, and the foundation is there.
Roster you're looking at now may not necessarily be the same come October, without naming names and all that, but what improvements do you see that could be made to this team to take it to another couple steps up?
Well, again, you said it without naming names.
Yeah.
I think I would say a stretch 4 would be nice for the Warriors. A shooting 4.
Would you love to get a stretch 4?
Oh, still, Joe, you
that
said
is
that.
terrible.
Look at
It's
you.
terrible. There's some things I just can't resist.
You stop
I'm
that.
sorry, I'm trying to get you fined your first day on the job.
Yeah, well, you just tried to do that.
You
know, I once got
I wouldn't have let you
fined.
said it. I would have cut your mic.
Oh,
I was-
no, I once
Don't
got
do it.
fined when I was GM in Phoenix.
Did you really?
Yeah, I went on Dan Patrick, and it was the year LeBron was going to be a free agent, and he said, "Are you going to go after LeBron?" I said, I made a joke. I said, "Well, we'll give him mid-level, you know," and bam, 10 grand.
No way.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So I learned my lesson.
Stern did
Yeah,
not have a
that's
sense of
right.
humor,
No,
did he?
no sense of humor. And I will never mention another player's name again. So.
So stretch 4.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Somebody to space the
like
court a little bit
for
more.
example, the Game 7 against the Clippers.
Mhm.
I think it was Game 7. Draymond Green hits 5 threes.
Yeah.
Now that's maybe not who he is, but it's who he's sort of becoming, and he got hot that night. Think of the nightmare that Doc Rivers and the Clippers had to face defensively, dealing with Steph and Clay, and now you got a big guy stepping out, and you got Bogut or Lee rolling to the rim. There's a lot of ground to cover, and I think stretch 4s these days have kind of changed the game, and it makes it so much tougher to defend, so much more ground to cover, and I think Draymond and Harrison Barnes have served that role somewhat, but somebody who really is adept at that could really add another dimension to this team.
Could you see possibly using Bogut and Lee in the high post at all?
Absolutely. I think they are both brilliant passers. You can bring them both to the elbows and run, what they call the horn set, where you hit one or the other, and now you got backdoor cutters, you got dribble handoffs, you got a lot of different options. I think it is important. I love what Steph and Clay have done the last couple of years, and I think Mark Jackson empowering them has given them a confidence level that they wouldn't have had otherwise. And now I think it's time for them to actually, not take a step back, but take some of the pressure off of them. Because I thought Steph was under so much pressure to score, especially in those really tough, grinded-out games. And I think it'd be nice to be able to free him up without having to dribble to all of his spots. And there are ways to do that, and I think you can utilize those bigs at the high post or even at the low block to create ways to get Steph the ball.
All right, coming up more with Steve Kerr. We'll be with it for another half an hour right here on the Sports Leader.